What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? It is 11 a.m. in New York City, 9 a.m. here in San Jose, Costa Rica, 8 a.m. in Vancouver, British Columbia, and you are watching Betting with the Bag on April 17th. And man, I was thinking about Von Polo last night. Just horrifying memories of the Kings getting swept and me believing in them last year. Seeing the Penguins get swept. Man, what I had to add to my NHL docket here. Penguins to win series plus 1,000 loss. Penguins to win series plus 120 loss. So those are the two in-series bets. Lightning to win series minus 200. I did that after game one of the series there. Knights minus 1.5 for plus 176. That cashed. And I'm going to be adding that to that. I am taking the Vegas Knights to win the Stanley Cup at plus 550. I'll make that official play when we're joined by Parlay Poppy here in a few minutes. I know that the Jackets have looked very good, smashing the Lightning. But to me, Knights are the best team in the NHL. That's what I'm seeing right now. Tampa Bay, Colorado, under 6 loss. Ugly, ugly, ugly day. And an ugly day in baseball. It's rough. But we're back in action. We got Parlay Poppy joining us in a few minutes to go over the NHL card. You might have some looks on the MLB card. We're going to break down NBA, and then we're going to break down the MLB card. We got Drew Martin joining us closer to the end of the hour. Then on The Late Show, we're going to have DJ Big Boss joining us, giving us some glory, the glory that only Big Boss can provide. And then Jay Money is Money will be joining us to break down the NBA card. Further, we got a packed show. And Friday, I just got to tell you a little bit about our Friday Late Show. Kelly in Vegas going to be joining us Friday. Donnie Rightside going to be joining us Friday. King Rail going to be joining us Friday. We got some great guests coming up. I'm excited. Very excited about the week. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Lamont Williams in the house. First in the chat. Underdog. UGA fan. Randy Lockhart. Randy Lockhart saying Jimmy Grind. Morning, brother. Randy Lockhart, I never gave you props for that great stat that you broke down for the low baggers about teams that win game one by 3 or more goals. What the stat was about how often they lose that game too, and the Knights worked perfectly in that stat. So that was a great job, Randy Lockhart. You are a sharp cat. We got UGA fan in the house, Joe Rich Ramirez, Bob Taylor, Carlos Perosian, his cheesy balls, Ron Lofton. We got Imp in the house, Serious Business, Rico Oroxas, Sacktown King, Walla Walla Dose, Demetrius Miller, Silvar Malco. We got Yayas here. Wow, 31-10 over his last 41 tennis picks. Shout out to Yayas, man. That's beautiful. Share them with us. Paulo Marquez, Eddie Euler, DJ Coleman, Bobby Digital, Bobby, Digi. Well, Coco Bongo, Viper NB. Says, what's good, Jimmy? Braves kicked my ass. You know, it's a very strange game. Very, very strange game. Base Kniff says, Cindy Crosby gets to watch the playoffs now. You're damn right. You are damn right he's watching the playoffs. It's shocking. When they score 45 seconds in, I'm like, okay, here it comes. Ugh. Unbelievable. Rico Roxas, Islanders money line and cash line. Imp says, morning all cash, last 2 Phillies games over. Think this is an under spot. Need that rent. Interesting, Imp. Yes, a lot of people do like the under in that game. One of them being Dave L.A. Carlos Bro says, the Islanders going to be trouble. Demetrius Miller says, Blue Jackets team total over Islanders Vegas with straight cash money last night. No doubt about that. DJ Coleman says that Pens minus 1.5 hurt Jimmy. Yeah, it certainly did. Eddie always said a lot of hockey pools went in the toilet last night. Mine, toilet. Top said, Jimmy, my scout was right. He said fade sale. Yeah, your scout was right. And our scout, Kobe Valentine, was right as well about that, checking out his deliveries, mechanics. Tommy Bolt says, my Bruins future got a lot of help from Columbus Blue Jackets. Thank you. Got to show up in Toronto. Everybody's Eastern Conference futures, and I only had one, the Pittsburgh Penguins, are wide open. And all of my Western Conference futures are now too, because they're not going to have to face a tough Lightning team in the finals. Maybe they weren't that tough. Unbelievable. That's just unbelievable. Robert Cherry says, welcome back. Thank you for having me. We got Eddie Euler says, hit your Pittsburgh and Winnipeg St. Louis unders last night. That was a great call on the under after that 6-3 game and getting a nice spot on the market. DJ Hundergrad says NBA picks was on fire yesterday. Ski Prop says, any thought on my Spurs moves, Jimmy? Minus 2.5 and the series plus 140. I'm looking forward to break that stuff down with you, Ski. I'm very interested to break that down for you. I thought that, I went 1-2 with the Nuggets and 1-0 with the Raptors, and then lost a $75 prop bet. So it was actually a losing night for me in NBA. But it took forever for the Nuggets to take control. And that series is absolutely up for grabs. Silver Malco says, Jimmy, can we start with MLB first if you don't mind? Because there's early games. We're going to get to MLB, I promise you. Oh, man. Failed at Life says, my butt and Jimmy and throat are both sore. Mine from bookies. I like it, Failed at Life. Yes, I took it right in the old brown eye last night. Don't feel good about it. But so, Silver Malco, we're going to get there very, very soon. But first, we're going to bring in Parlay Poppy and discuss these NHL games. But I promise you, we're going to break down every single game on this entire card right now. We got Parlay Poppy ready to rock. Rafa, let's bring him in. Eddie Ois, his 15-year-old streak catcher guy, lost his streak going with Spurs Nuggets under. Yeah, shout out to Red Girl. We got Daryl Lyles in the house. Tom Reno says, I hit with Columbus in Vegas. Columbus looks like a contender. They certainly do. Robert Terry says, I was heartbroken. The Royals lost and went under. Okay, okay, if we got no Poppy at the moment, that is no problem because I can start talking about these NHL games. But if we want to start breaking down these MLB games, we can do that as well. So we're waiting for Poppy to answer. Let's talk Bruins at Leafs. Let's bring up the market here. And also, Rafa, my record dropping. Do you mind throwing up my NHL record if you get a second, Rafa? They're looking much worse for wear, just like the playoffs did to me last year. It's happening again. So I'll just keep talking as the graphics come up there, and I can't quite see them now because we're calling Poppy at the moment. But let's talk NHL quickly, and we'll break down those morning baseball games. Don't worry. Boston, Toronto. Boston opening at plus 102 and is now at plus 103. So a 1 cent move towards the Toronto Maple Leafs here. Rask versus Anderson. It seems to me like that Leafs first line is beating the Bruins first line. It's that simple. Tavares, Marner, Hyman seem to be controlling that what I think is a better line in the Bergeron, Marchand, Pasternak line. And that was the big difference in Game 3. Austin Matthews gets his first goal of the series. He's going to start rolling. Shout out to Dom Reach. It's not a great day in MLB, but hit the Isles series and Isles team total over for the game. Great job. Bobby Digital says, Jimmy, I got afternoon play for you and the fam. Love to hear that. And now we got our man Parlay Poppy in the house. Parlay Poppy, we're talking about Bruins Leafs right now. It's pretty much even. I mean, you're getting a slight favorite line with these Toronto Maple Leafs. It certainly felt last game the value was on the home team. It seems like that again today. The total opens at under 6, heavily juiced to the under, minus 125. So there's been a 16-cent move towards the over. The under 6 now is at minus 109 at BetOnline. First off, Parlay Poppy, welcome to the show. Second off, Bruins Leafs. What do you see happening here?
What is poppin', everybody? We're here. We're live. Let's jump right into it. So Bruins and Leafs, I mean, what a day in NHL last night. Who would have thought that was going to happen? We basically saw the Columbus Blue Jackets lay out a blueprint on how to defeat these offensive teams that are much more talented on the other end. Suffocate them, make them work, take those loose pucks, put the fucking foot in the face. That's how they did it. And you know what I'm seeing here with Toronto? I'm seeing Toronto kind of stepping up against the Bruins. I know that this team actually matches up not the best, player for player, line for line. And the fact is the Bruins Toronto is putting their body out there. They're getting things done by being physical with the play. I think that it's very tough to pick a side here. It looks like Toronto has a lot of momentum coming in, and they've been flexible in their game plan, which is allowing them to keep the Bruins at bay, go head up with them, and still be able to outscore them. We got to remember that on average, the Bruins are out shooting these guys in this series about 20%. That's saying a lot, right? That says a lot about what's going on in Toronto to me. So I don't know if I really have a side specifically, because it seems like this is it's a pretty big toss-up to me, and it's going to show me a lot this next game. It's tough to really delve into the first series and start putting heavy bets down. I say this with MLB, the same thing. In the first couple weeks, it's, I'm a degenerate, so I like to get in action, but you shouldn't. You should watch, just like the first series. See how these teams are handling adversity. See how they're changing their game plan when it's not working. We saw Toronto do that, and it looks like all the momentum's on their side. I would definitely have to lean Toronto here, my man.
Yeah, it just seems like for a home team, you're getting value if they're just such a slight favorite. I agree. Eddie Euler says, Toronto won 3-2 last game. You guys are talking like it was 6-2. You know, the lasting image of that hockey game to me is Mitch Marner blocking shots. Little Mitch Marner blocking shots, putting his body on the line. The Leafs are doing everything that you need, and still, I'm hesitant to back them. Still, I just have the vividness bias of Bruins having the Leafs number. But man, I'm not making a move at this point. You have any feel on this total?
You know, it's crazy because this trend's actually to a over because divisionally, hosting division teams, the Toronto Maple Leafs, I believe, are at 11-4 to the over, while Boston visiting on the road is on the opposite end of the spectrum at 4-11, so 4 overs and 11 unders in these divisional games on the road. So the way that Toronto is playing, and it is significant. It is like a 6-2 game because these guys are winning Boston's game, and they're not out shooting Boston. They're grinding them out. So it's a significant thing to watch. But as far as this total goes, we're seeing Toronto play a grinded style. I don't think they really want to get into the shootout because we've seen in the past, if Boston does that with Toronto, Boston can win those games. It seems like the Maple Leafs have figured it out, and I think that this actually leans towards an under. So I don't have an official pick on this game, but I would definitely lean an under 6, and I would lean a home side here.
Same here. Robbie Tops says Leafs hit 5 posts. Score didn't reflect the game. Toronto going to win. Robert Cherry says, how about Bruins a +1.5 on the puck line, Jimmy? Never, Robert Cherry. I never take +1.5s ever. Richie Rich says, we've seen 3 straight unders. I like over 6 in this game. Shout out to Richie Rich. Great capper. Daryl Lyles, I'm on the under in Bruins Leafs. Lamont Williams, my max bet solo team total over. And wow, tough. And Tormina sidling under. Anderson's playing great. Rashford step up in a must-win game. Yeah, I don't have a move on it, man. Jim Rome said at least being physical with them is interesting. It's surprising. So I'm not making a move on this spot at this point. Let's move on to Predators at Dallas. Dallas opened at -115, now -123. So an 8-cent move at BetOnline on Dallas. This total, they're hanging another 5 on the board. Wow. All I can say is wow. I mean, Pekka Rinne looked very, very good. I thought Dallas had an advantage on the power play in this series. They're now 1 for 13. Tyler Seguin is stepping up in a big way, though 11 shots on goal in Game 3. He's doing a lot of good stuff. Matt Zuccarello has scored twice in this series. And then Granlund getting the big goal, who picked up off of the Wild. This is another tough series. Ron the Don says Preds money line. You know, I do not like this Stars team, but Bishop at home, a Predators team that can't score on the power play. Remo says under again. Robbie Top says Dallas or nothing. What do you see here, Poppy?
Right. I mean, out of the series so far that we've seen, I think this is kind of the most predictable one. It kind of went to how we thought it was going to be. Very grinded out style. Basically a battle between 2 juggernaut goalies. We look at Pekka Rinne, right? This guy last year got fucking blasted. He had like a 3.07 or 3.1 goals against average. And he comes back here and he looks pretty amazing. And if you take that one season last year out, this guy's got a cumulative in 86 games. That's 86 postseason games, a 2.44 goals against average. This guy is a stud. Ben Bishop, we know what he can do. Is there any really other way to look at this game than attacking it under somehow? We got Boyle out on as a forward on the Preds, right? And Simmons, that's offensive pieces where there is no offense. And I know Janmark, right? He's out, I believe, for the Stars. And I mean, that's another piece of depth offense that they don't have to put a potential goal in the net. So we still haven't exceeded 5 goals in this series. Do we really want to pick a 5 and maybe push? It seems like that's kind of what's going on. And just every time we take an under, you know, you're grabbing the end of your seat because you're having an anxiety attack because it's an under, right? We're not cheering for anything but for stops. So in the last 8 games these two have played together, they've only gone over that 5 twice. So 6 out of the last 8 games have stayed under the number. The way I want to attack this is actually going to be a play for me. I know that the Nashville Predators in their last 5 games, including the regular season, have scored 1 goal in the first period. Dallas Stars are at home. I mean, this is kind of where they need to be at. Although they did lose last night, it's a spot I feel comfortable taking a under 0.5, meaning Predators can't score in the first period, and I'm going to take that at minus 115. So that's my look here, because if we're taking a 5, we're just hoping and praying it goes to what, like 1-1, 2-1, 2-2 overtime for a push. I don't see that that's fun to watch, or even I don't really think there's much value on it, because I think this game is going to land on 5. So that's my angle. We're going to do Predators here under 0.5 goals in the first period at minus 115.
You know, maybe Eddie Oiler, I hear what you're saying, and I think you're bang on. Robert Terry says, I've been right about this matchup the entire series. I had Nashville under the entire series, no matter what happens. Raymond Scott saying 1-0 or 2-1. You know, Anna Merrick saying unders all day. I think Eddie Oiler probably has the best look here. Predator Stars go to OT for a nice score.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
I think that's probably the spot with the most value to me. Henry Merrick says, why are we ever picking a side in this matchup? Robert Cherry says, I can count on one hand many times Predators scored more than 3 goals. Adam Lastman says, Preds 3-1. Robbie Top says, Jimmy, I'm so confident that Toronto will win that I will donate 100 to your show if Boston wins tonight. Mark me down. You know, Robbie Tops, I don't want you to donate anything to our show, but I like seeing your confidence. Kobe Williams says, Nashville not that good. They're not winning. They probably lose the series. And Jin Rummy, great point on the under, says going back at under 5 at plus 102. He says don't take under 5 at minus 120. In fact, I wouldn't take anything below minus 105. Wow, interesting stuff. To be honest, I wonder what you're getting on the going to overtime, Eddie Oiler. Could you let me know what you're getting on that line? Because that makes me think that that's the best spot. I'm off of this game at this point, but that seems interesting. Now let's talk Flames Avalanche. Avalanche outshot the Flames 56-29 in the last game. They have all the momentum. The Flames have lost 8 straight playoff road games. The Avalanche are doing it without Girard and without Brassard. They did have Cale Makar, the 2017 fourth overall draft pick, who got the game-winning goal in for his NHL debut. Grubauer's rolling. I don't even know if the Flames go back to Mike Smith at this point. Let's see what we're looking at. Flames, Avalanche. The total is at 6, and it's a pick'em at 6. And the money line here is at is a pick'em again. Randy Lockhart said, Flames had a good season, but like Tampa, ran out of gas in the end. And it shows underperforming Colorado may run away with the round here. What do you think here? Flames, Avalanche, Poppy.
Right, so that was an anomaly of a stat, 56 shots on goal in that epic win by Colorado. Hats off. The thing is that, the Flames, regardless of how they're slumping during the end of the season, they're still only allowing 30 shots per game on the road. So the way to defeat the Avalanche is to hold them down at bay, use the big bodies. These guys are agile, the Flames. They're mobile, but they're big. So they should be able to kind of implement what the Blue Jackets did to the Lightning by suffocating them a little bit and getting off on chances, getting those loose pucks out and getting on a break, because that's the way that the Calgary Flames can win this matchup. Also, draw penalties by these Colorado Avalanche. These guys are the fucking worst, absolute atrocious home defense on the power play. We have Calgary generating the first most chances at power plays, and they're extremely effective on goal on the road. They're ranked number 9th in most goals on the power play on the road. So we have a terrible, terrible Colorado team at the power play, and we have an epic Calgary Flames team who needs to draw these penalties. They're the best at it and can take advantage of that. They can't allow the Avalanche to get shots off, because that's how they're going to lose. If they get into a shootout with the Colorado Avalanche, it's a 50-50 shot. But when the Avalanche are kind of taking advantage and just maneuvering and just putting pucks to the back of the net, it sways a lot in their side. So for me, I think that there's enormous value on either side of the puck line, depending on who you like. I'm actually leaning the Flames here, but I want to be a little bit conservative because it is the playoffs. We don't see too many huge blowouts that are very unexpected. I mean, except obviously that first series with Tampa Bay, Jesus Christ. But what I think would be a good look, looking at where Calgary is winning and how they're winning, I like the look of Calgary on the regulation line at plus 160, and you can get them on the puck line, I believe, at plus 245. And that goes both ways since it's a pick 'em. I just looked before that and that goes for the Colorado Avalanche too. I like Calgary here because I do think that they're gonna see what's going on. I mean, they're doing tape research. They're like, look, we got to hold these guys down and do our thing. Draw some penalties, get this thing in the net, and keep them from shooting on us because that's how we're going to lose. You got a completely susceptible goaltender in Mike Smith. We're not going to put Rittich in just yet because that guy has zero playoff experience, and I could see him getting just blasted. But the reason I'm going to take the regulation line with Calgary is because out of the last 10 wins, they've covered that puck line 9 times. They won by more than one. So I'm being conservative with the regulation line because it is the playoffs, and it's a little touchy because now the Flames are 2-1 1-2 to Colorado Avalanche. And Colorado, when they lose out of the last 7 times, the last 5 times out of those 7, they have lost by more than one. So I'm skeptical on taking the puck line. I think it's a great play on either side that you're on. And for me, I'm going to take that regulation line with the Calgary Flames based on the fact that when they do win by a margin.
It's a look that I completely understand, and I'm enjoying watching this series immensely. But I'm scared to back the Flames here. I'm very, very scared to back the Flames. Tomore puts it nicely. He says Calgary needs to take away Colorado's speed, get physical with McKinnon, and he's not doing that. So at this point, I need to sit and study more. The one move I am making is the Golden Knights to win the Cup at plus 550. That is an official play here, and I'm going to bet it. I haven't bet it yet, but I will bet it this afternoon. Richie Rich says, we see the best Calgary in this series tonight. Calgary money line, team total, and I love first period over 1.5. The over does look appealing just because of what we've been watching. I mean, it just seems like goals are coming, but I'm still, if I was to make a move, I guess I would lean towards making that. I do like Eddie Oilers' overtime play and Predators Stars. I think I might make that move, and I am interested in the over in Colorado Avalanche. Wonderful stuff, Poppy. Wonderful stuff. Do you have any looks on this MLB baseball card?
Yeah. And one more thing to touch on the NHL. We can learn a lot by seeing this first round and how teams are adapting versus another team's game plan and how they're able to be flexible in the coaching. We saw Tampa Bay. That was pathetic. There was absolutely that was like a diva-esque behavior by all the lines on Tampa Bay. And horrible coaching. There was no change. There was no change to nullify what Columbus is doing to you, which is shutting you completely down. We're seeing Toronto do it with Boston by being physical. Let's look at these games, and not go so heavy on the bets because we can learn a lot about how these teams are going to play in the future and who's responding to adversity. So I would just say buyer beware. Make a few bets. It's so hard for me to do the same thing. I want to spread bets on every single game I see, but I'm trying to control myself. But on to the MLB. Another time of year that I try not to bet, and the degenerate in me just sprinkles all day long. So I got a couple looks on these early games. I like Arrieta here. I like Arrieta at this price at I believe minus 108 on the first 5 because I know that the Mets, I mean, last night that was wild. I've never seen such a blow up before so quickly. But we got Wheeler facing off against McCutcheon, Realmuto, Hernandez, Potent Bats, Williams, and they've all gotten off on Wheeler heavy. Arrieta's he's making some changes in the pitching that's looking a lot better. And Arrieta lifetime against these Mets is giving him a .583 OPS. He's only allowed 17 runs in these 10 games. But he has been touched by them before, so it's a little bit of an iffy bet. I just see that there's a lot of value on these powerful bets on the Phillies, who are a bit inconsistent. Hopefully they didn't blow their load yesterday. But I'm going to go with the first 5 Phillies here. I believe that's 108. You got to look on this one too, Jim?
Yeah. I was surprised that Mats, got touched the way he did. It was, great cappers like Dave Alley were on to the Phillies yesterday. I just thought Mats had looked good to start the year. Kingery's very hot right now. Phillies are going with McCutcheon, Kingery, Harper, Hoskins, Real Muto, Herrera, Hernandez, Franco. Up against McNeil, Alonso, Cano, Conforto, J.D. Davis, Ahmad Rosario, Travis Darno, Keon Broxton. You know, I'm just hesitant. I'm waiting for Wheeler to step up because he was spectacular in the second half of last year, and he's looked terrible so far this year. 60 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour in. Zach Wheeler giving up 13 earned runs and 15 2/3. Jake Arrieta, I was saying, man, that sinker is not looking very good. He's not getting swing and misses, but coming off a nice start. Phillies rating 254, 804 OPS versus righties. Mets rating 257, 764 OPS versus righties. Man, Matt's got touch. Kingery's rolling. Arrieta 2-3 with a 2.34 ERA and 10 career outings. Zach Wheeler's being exposed by this Phillies team. Is a 1-1, 7.47 ERA in 3 starts this season, but overall 3.96 ERA lifetime in Philly. I said he got exposed. I was looking at his numbers this year. He has a 4-1, 3.36 ERA and 10 total starts against Philly, so he's looked good against them. Brandon Nimmo gone, right? Brandon Nimmo is not in the lineup for the Mets. You know, that hurts a little bit. But, man, I'm waiting for Wheeler to step up. Tom Marino says Arrieta was horrible in the spring. Robert Cherry said that broke me. Jimmy blew my pocket up over that subpar performance. Mets starting to rear suck again. They're starting to suck again. Tom Marino saying Arrieta is an emotional pitcher, being good off bad starts. DJ Big Boss says, sounds like an under game to me. And that is what Dave LA is on. Dave LA is on the under. Let's take a quick look at what we're getting here. Money lines and totals. God, that under does sound appealing. I'm waiting for Wheeler to start pitching better. And it's pretty much stayed at 9 all day. What do you think of that under?
I think it's a little bit tricky. I mean, the Mets bullpen I thought was going to be really good, and we've seen Philly kind of screw around too. So that's what worries me. It also worries me, waiting to see somebody pitch, with Wheeler. I agree. He looks like he should be good, but he's not right now. Prove it first before I put the buck down. So that's the reason that I think that both these guys might get hit. I think Philly's got the more powerful proven lineup against Wheeler, and I don't think Wheeler's in true form. And I also think that both bullpens are a little bit of a variable, especially the Mets. I mean, that is blowing my mind what's going on over there. But I don't think that I would take an under. I would be cautious on that.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm leaning towards. I think Wheeler steps up. This Mets bullpen has started to look a little bit better. I'm hesitant to make a move. Poppy jumping on the Phillies. What else are you looking at on this morning card?
White Sox. Our boy Giolito. Our boy Brad Keller. Look, Brad Keller, I'm a big fan of. He's got a big issue with those walks. Against any potent hitting team, he's going to get fucking blown up. But I'm not high on White Sox right now. I know they won yesterday, but we got to look at Giolito. This guy has some of the worst numbers I've ever seen, just advanced wise, from a basic bro perspective. Just looking at him pitch, I mean, this guy had a lot of promise, but man, he's atrocious. I got to lean with Keller here. He looks a lot better. Kansas City is such a hit or miss when it comes to the batting department, but the thing is, Giolito, the only success he really has had is against these Royals, and I think that the Royals can still hit him. And if they don't, I don't think that the White Sox are going to get off on Keller. So I'm going to actually go 2 bets here. And I'm going to do White Sox team total under on the first 5. And I believe that's at 2.5 at -117 or something. I'm not sure. It's in that range. And then I'm going to go KC money line on the first 5. Actually, you know what? White Sox under 2.5 is -135. I'm not going to do that. I don't know why. I thought that was something else. So scratch that. White Sox under 2.5. 135 is too much. The KC first 5, though, I'm on that -108. I think it'll be not White Sox smashing the ball. And if Kansas City doesn't mash the ball off Giolito, I think it'll still be maybe 1-1 or just nothing much going on in that first 5. I don't believe in the Giolito. I believe in Keller. And looking at a lot of his numbers, I think that he's got a lot of potential. What do you think about here?
Yeah, I like it. I like your Royals. First 5, Mondesi, Gordon, Dozier, O'Hearn, Soler, Duda, Owings, Maldonado, Hamilton going up against Garcia, Moncada, Abreu, Alonso, Jimenez, Anderson, McCann, Sanchez, Engel. Don't look now, but this White Sox lineup is Moncada mashing. Starting to look better. If Abreu and Alonso, if Jimenez is the guy we think he is, Anderson's leading the American League. Don't look now, but this White Sox lineup is starting to look better. Yeah, I think Giolito can pitch to this Royals lineup. I really do. I don't mind the Royals on the first 5, but I also feel like the under has some life here at 4.5. It opened at 5 at -125, but 4.5 at a plus line, 5 at Heritage at -125. I feel like the under is gonna. Shout out to Senpai Max in the house. Love this guy. Yeah, I like your Royals first 5, but I just think that there's now quite an advantage with the White Sox lineup, and I think Giolito can get through this weak Royals lineup. I like your first 5, but I'm going to make a move here on the first 5 under 5. I'm going to take first 5 under 5. I'm getting -125 at Heritage. First 5 under 5. That's what I'm going to jump on. First 5 under 5 at -125. What a treat it is to roll with you, Poppy. Thank you so much for joining the show. Where can we find you on Twitter, my man?
You can holler at me at Poppy_parlay. Always open to anything you guys want to discuss. MLB tricks, talking bullshit, whatever it is. I'm with it. I just wanted to add one more play over here. We got St. Louis against the Brewers. We got basically I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys see my video, but we basically have a relief pitcher in Burns who has been smashed. Take a look at his numbers. I'm going to go first 5 over because I also believe that Waka will get hit too. Don't know if you guys can hear me. Hopefully so, but I will catch you on the next vid. Peace out, my guys. Later.
Much love to Parlay Poppy. Yeah, Corbin Burns been getting touched. Let's go to this Cardinals-Brewers game right now. Cardinals hitting 257, 807 OPS versus Riders. Brewers 255, 799 OPS. I've heard that Kane is not in the lineup for the Brewers. They got Gamble, Yelich, Grandal. Grandal in the lineup again. Interesting. He's so hot right now. Moustakas, Braun, Shaw, Aguilera, Arcia, Burns and Carpenter, Goldschmidt, DeYoung, Ozuna, Martinez, Fowler, Wong, Wieters, and Waka. Interesting stuff. Ramon Scott says St. Louis, Milwaukee going to be a fun run fest. Take the over. Torino says Waka has been garbage so far. Robert Cherry not liking my under 5 in the Royals White Sox game. I do like it. I do like it. Top Set likes Cards first 5 and team total over. Brian B's on the Brewers first 5 over. Shout out to Vegas Gunning. I was basically going to say I like to fade the Brewers and Burns, but them bats are too hot. Let's see what we're getting here. Money lines and totals, full game. Money lines and totals in the Cardinals-Brewers game. Here we go. So the total opened at 9, over 9 at -125. It's now at 9.5. Money line opened at -120 for the Brewers. So there's been a 16-cent move towards the Brewers. Bobby, my early baseball play is Cardinals money line +120. Daytime Waka has a 3.47 ERA as opposed to a 4.68 last 3 seasons. De facto rookie for Brewers has gotten lit up. I agree. Silver Malco says, and Robert Cherry liking the Yanks again. I agree. Silver Malco saying, Jimmy, what you think? St. Louis bounce back here? I do think St. Louis bounces back. I do. And I like Waka in this spot. Let's see what Waka's done. Waka, last time he faced this team, he looked good. 1 run, 4 hits, 6 innings. It was the bullpen that fell apart. He's 5-0 his career against Milwaukee, and he doesn't have to face Lorenzo Cain. I agree. Burns has already given up homers to Carpenter, Goldschmidt, and DeYoung when he faced them last month. Yeah, I think Cardinals are the play here. I think they step up and don't get swept. Let's see, Tomore saying Walker hasn't been the same pitcher this year. I mean, his numbers aren't terrible. 15 hits allowed and 15 in the third, 9 earned runs, 4 home runs. I guess they are pretty bad. They are pretty bad, but not as bad as Corbin's. Corbin's allowed 9 home runs and 14 in the third. Yeah. I think that the Cardinals can take care of business. Robert Cherry says, got to fade St. Louis too. They screwed me yesterday. I like the Cardinals here, and I guess I like their team totals. Let's see what we get for their team totals here quickly. Going to Pinnacle team totals for the full game, and I guess I would like the first 5 better. St. Louis Cardinals are getting over 2.5 at +117. God, that's nice. And full game over here at 4.5 at +102. Two plus lines? I mean, I agree, Eddie Euler, with the Texas Rangers. We're going to get to that game. Those are both nice. I think the Cardinals' offense has seen Corbin Burns and can get to him. God, I don't want to quadruple up in this game. But if we don't trust Waka, why don't I just take team total overs? And that's what I'll do. I'm going to take Cardinals first 5, team total over 2.5. First 5, team total over 2.5 here. And I'm getting over 2.5 at plus 117. And I'm going to take Cardinals full game over 4.5 at plus 102. There we go. Then I don't need to worry about Waka. I don't need to worry about how hot this Brewers team is. And I can take the Cardinals to touch Burns. Ben Sport 24/7 says St. Louis to play Waka better on the mound. Yeah, I want to back Waka here. Daytime start, but I'm just hesitant. And I don't think I should be. But I definitely don't want to be tripling up. Now, it'd be a triple up on the show because I don't have a book for first 5s. And I'm making sure I have a $1,000 roll for the Derby. So I still haven't opened up a book at Pinnacle. But maybe I should just do that today and cut into that $1,000 roll for the Derby. Let me see here. With the first 5 on the Cardinals, are you getting a plus line here? I don't know if I need to do this. But money line, first 5 against the Brewers team that just seems to have the Cardinals number right now. Cardinals first 5, you're getting plus 120. I guess that's appealing. Isaac God says, Jimmy, take the St. Louis second half over. I think that's a good look. Wow. Okay, I'm going to... Cardinals -1s plus 200. Mally Malon, Cardinals first 5. They can get to them first 5, can't they? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Cardinals first 5 at the plus line. I'm getting plus 120 at Bet Online and Bookmaker. Cardinals first 5 plus 120. All right, book it. Okay, so let's keep rolling through this baseball card. We're going to be joined by Drew Martin in a second. So I'm on the first 5, under 5 at minus 125 in Kansas City, Chicago. And Ebby Obasan said, why not take the first 5 over? I did take it. I just don't have it in my book. I can't bet it. Ben Sports 24/7 says, I like cards first 5. Might take that now. Brian B says, everyone on the cards. Which, not in the very, very, not helpful. I'll just leave it at that. Not helpful. And Bobby Digi said, yes, that's my really strong play. Let's get it. I love it, Bobby. Digi. Okay, let's keep rolling through these early games. Once we're through the next early game, we'll have capped all 4 early games. Let's quickly talk about basketball and then finish off the baseball cards. So the next early game on the docket is the Reds-Dodgers. 74 Fahrenheit, clear, 2 miles per hour, out. Sonny Gray versus Walker Buehler. Reds still have yet to win on the road. 0-4 on the road. Walker Buehler has not looked good this year, and Sonny Gray's looked great. Reds are hitting just 196, 630 OPS versus righties. Dodgers are hitting 299, 10 OPS versus righties. Votto will be leading off. Let's see if their lineups have been confirmed here. They have not been confirmed, but we expect Votto to lead off again. Buehler off to a rough start after a great rookie season. They're saying that his fastball is running up and into right-handed batters, and so he's having to rely on secondary pitches. Buehler at St. Louis on Thursday hit his first career home run, but got touched badly. Now, the Dodgers are hoping to get both Bellinger and Turner back in the lineup. They both missed Wednesday's game, and Jock Peterson is just rolling. Dadfan says, is there an afternoon show today? Of course there is, Dadfan. Of course, every day an afternoon show. Jock Peterson has just a 175 batting average of balls in play, BIP, but the guy's got 8 home runs, 306, slugging 857 against righties. My God, is he playing well. JP says, Jimmy, you're not on the Phillies. They're rolling right now. I'm on the train. I'm hesitant to go up against Wheeler in this spot. Viper NB says, Sonny Gray is an auto fade. Jin Rummy's on the over 8 in Dodgers Reds. You know, Jin Rummy, that's a great look, but I'm sure you got by far the best line. You know, I like that look. If Sonny Gray is vulnerable against a lineup that smashes righties, yeah. Wow, it's already moved to 8.5 at a bunch of books. What a great look, Jin Rummy. I agree. I like that look. I'm going to jump with Jin Rummy. Thank you for sharing that. There's still an 8 at minus 114 at Pinnacle. I'm getting nowhere near the line that our man Jin Rummy got, but I think that's a great look. Over 8, minus 114 at Pinnacle. All right. So those are the morning games. I'm staying off Phillies Phillies, Mets right now. I'm staying off, but I'm on the Cardinals. First 5 team total over 2.5 at plus 117. Full game over 4.5 at plus 102. And the first 5 at plus 120. So a lot of nice plus signs here. Juan Juarez says, thank you for the Vegas puck line yesterday. Juan Juarez, I just took them to win the Stanley Cup at plus 550. Just took them to win the Stanley Cup. Imp has got the Phillies under 9 at Nuggly minus 120. I get that spot. You got Moss's Wheeler is way better than people think. I agree. I think Wheeler is a beast. And he's going to get hot. I'm on the first 5 under 5 at minus 125 in the Royals, White Sox. And then I'm on the over 8 at minus 114 in the Reds, Dodgers. And I like that look a lot. You got Moss's Load the Farm on the Mets. Eddie Ois says Reds minus 1.5 pays 250. And Dom Ricci, when Dom Ricci talks about the Mets and about when Dom Ricci talks about anything, listen, he's a great, great capper. But he's so sharp with these Mets. You should have seen him dominate last year. Just destroy the books with the Mets. Here he says, Wheeler, in my opinion, has a good outing. I'm on Mets first 5. And probably, like always, the over on the road. Mets first 5. Because you're right. I think that Wheeler can have a nice start here. But do we think that this lineup is just so much better for the Phillies? McCutchen, Kingery, Harper, Hoskins, Realmuto, Herrera, Fernandez, Franco? Maybe not. But I don't like the back end of the lineup. I do kind of like that under. And what's been the movement on this under here? Sorry, quickly. What's been the movement on this under? Look at totals. Don Regis says, I was wrong on Matt. So, man, so was I. So, full game, 9. Pretty much staying the same all day. I'm just going to stay off of it. All right, let's quickly touch on the NBA just briefly and then go back to the late games in MLB. We're going to break these down with J Money is Money. Here we go. We're going to start with Pistons Bucks, and I really don't want to spend too much time on it. Just see if anybody's got a move here. And JP, I feel you. Yeah, there's no doubt they're rolling. We got Boston at minus 7.5, and this total at 204. Very low total after that first game that went way, way under. 84-74. The lowest scoring game for the Celtics, the lowest scoring game for the Pacers all year. Kyrie Irving dominated Darren Collison. Celtics shot 41% in the second half, just 32 in the first half. Outscored the Pacers 26-8 in that third quarter. Man, we know that there's no Marcus Smart, but Jaylen Brown into his starting spot looks great there. Marcus Morris, Hayward coming off the bench. The Indiana bench did not play well. Domantas Sabonis 3 for 9. Tyreek Evans 3 for 11. Doug McDermott 1 for 7. I'm not going to make a move early. It's pretty easy to say that the Pacers would bounce back. If I did believe in the Pacers, it would be first half and first half only. Shout out to Eric Nisbet in the house. Love having Eric Nisbet here. Says Blazers minus 1 last night, straight cash. Good work. I'm with Tomor on this. Tomor says Detroit was humiliated last game. I'm not betting Milwaukee. Detroit doesn't have enough offense for me to back them on the road, even at this price. I agree. I absolutely agree. Silvar Malco, much love to you. Thank you for all your insights, and thank you for joining us, man. It's going to be great. Silvar. We got a big show. Got J Money is Money. We got DJ Big Boss. Tomorrow says I'm on Boston first half. Boston came out slow game 1. I think they come out strong here. Game 1 was an early start. Interesting. Let's talk Pistons Bucks. Bucks are huge favorites. That they win 121-86 in game 1, 9th most lopsided NBA playoff game in the century. Ramon Scott said it isn't going to be crazy under again, but reasonable to go under after game 1 development. I hear that. Viper MB says it's going to be another stampede. The Bucks didn't have to play anybody. The Greek Freak played 23 minutes. Pat Connaughton played the game high 28-17. Love Pat Connaughton. Guy throws 95. Tony Snell not going to be back in the lineup. Brogdon's not going to be there, but they don't need him. Sacktown King says under in the Bucks game. That total has gone up from 210 to 213.5, but I like that look. Sacktown said I can't see the Pistons scoring. Blake Griffin's working out, lobbying to play, but don't think he will. Then we have Jazz Rockets. Rockets dominated game 1. Gobert was stuck in the paint, and Harden was like, fine, you can take the paint. And Harden looked awesome. If there wasn't for weak outside shooting, Harden would have had a lot more than what the 10 assists that he ended up with. He looked great, just completely in control. 29 points, but only attempted 3 free throws. Bobby Digital says Horford is questionable for Boston. That's interesting. I haven't heard that. Drew Daddy also liking the first half Celtics. Eric Nisbet says Rockets -6. Lay it and play it. Houston won the board battle 42-41. Very interesting spot. DJ Coleman liking the Rockets and Jazz over. That's an interesting look. Open at 212.5, now up to 214. Oh, that might be a great look, DJ. You got Moss says Jerry Sloan was on local radio today saying he told Quinn Snyder to tell his guys to quit feeling sorry about having to play Houston round 1. Wow. And he's also leaning under, Eric Nisbet, leaning under. I think that's a good look in the market that makes sense. TMB, I love it. I love it, TMB. Yeah, I find the over interesting. I'm going to wait till we got Jay Money, his money on the late show, and we're going to hammer these games, break them down, hammer them. So let's get back into the late cards. So I'm not making any plays in NBA at this point. Let's move on to the late games in baseball and see if there's some looks we like. We're going to be joined here in 9 minutes by Drew Martin. We got Red Sox, Yankees here. Red Sox, Yankees. Let's take a good look at what we're dealing with. Red Sox not looking good early in the season. My goodness. Quickly here, Red Sox. Yankees, we got Eovaldi, Happ, the total at 9.5. And Red Sox taking a little bit of money. So there's been a 5-cent move towards the Red Sox since BetOnline opened it up. Eovaldi's looked terrible so far this year. 14 earned runs in 15 innings, 6 home runs. Now, he's going up against the Yankees team that he's great numbers against, but he had great numbers against the Blue Jays. Spectacular number against the Blue Jays, and he couldn't take care of business. Brian B says Yankees winning again. Zach M says, when does the late show start? It starts at 5:30 Eastern time, 2:30 Pacific time. Viper MB says, thanks, brother. Rockets roll again. Base Camp says, fade Red Sox. Mal says, fade Red Sox in the first 5. Red Sox are hitting just 244, 700 OPS versus lefties. Yankees are hitting 267, 847 OPS versus righties. Yankees cruised yesterday. I mean, Boston's just getting nothing right now. They're getting nothing. I mean, look at that. Mookie Betts, 3 hits in his past 28 bats. He's hitting 212. But Joe Anisi, like in Boston money line, Texas money line, San Francisco money line. I like Texas money line too. We're going to talk about that game. Eddie Opasoan says, Yanks ain't winning. Hap been struggling. Take the over first 5. Hap has been struggling. I expect him to get his shit together. Both these pitchers have looked terrible so far this year. And this game does have a bit of an early start, 6:35. I guess I could understand people liking the over. Just 59 Fahrenheit. Don Regis said, damn, Red Sox couldn't give us that over 8.5, 1 friggin' run. Ramon Scott says, Red Sox team has so many runs on the road. Mally Mouse says, fading Red Sox first 5 is being most consistent, profitable bet. I hear that. Bobby Digital says, fade us until we turn around. We can't hit, we can't pitch. Yeah, I think that is an interesting look for the Yanks here. Mally Mouse says, over is a great play. Joe Anisi says, Hap going to get rocked. Ramon Scott liking Yankees and the over. Oh, and here we go. Dennis Garcia. Here we go. I'm copying and pasting this. We got a horse play. Oh, and God, and Big Boss getting together with the guys. LA Bag event. I love it. North Hollywood on Friday night, 7 o'clock. Says happy hour ends at 7. Get there early. Ski, Trot Wham, unbelievable. Big Boss, all confirmed. You guys go. Please go to that event. That'll be wonderful. Isaac God says, Jimmy, take Arizona second half over. That's a very good look, too. Isaac God, I'm going to copy and paste that. Okay. So, Dennis Garcia's play is make the 4 trade deadline in race 6 the play of the day, because I think 3-1 money line would be a steal. Wow. Okay. Trade deadline in race 6. I'm going to jump on. I got some money in my account right now. I will jump on. But Dennis Garcia said, instead I'll make long shot 3 fancy fogs. First turf race is solid after a long layoff. Okay, he just retracted that. That is going to come back on, I'm sure, at some point. He's just figuring some editing there. Okay, I can understand backing the Yanks. I just want a little bit more time. Maybe we talk to Drew Martin on this spot as well. We got to roll through these games quite quickly. So let's keep rolling here. I can understand the lean to the Yankees, and I can understand the lean to the over. But I don't know if I trust Boston bats right now. I'm going to give that some time. At this point. Okay, let's roll. Indians, Mariners, Carrasco versus Swanson. The Indians are hitting just 204, 621 OPS versus righties. And what are we going to get from Carrasco? I mean, he looked terrible. They said that in the bullpen, he looked fine. And then he came onto the mound and he said nothing was there. My command, my velocity, nothing was there. Carrasco went 2/3 of an inning. He did not look good. And we got the taint play of the day. White Sox KC under 9. Matt Randall, I'm on the first half under, but he's on the full game too. I like that. Oh, Matt Randall, thank you for joining us. Don Ricci says, I think Hap bounces back also. I agree. I think Hap bounces back. I think you guys are right to like the Yankees here. I'm going to just wait a little bit longer. I don't know what Carrasco's going to give us. I want to fade the Mariners. They're 5-5 at home, playing what we expected them to do, but I'm going to stay off that. Robert Chase says, I like Seattle money line at home. What the hell is Carrasco going to give us? And the Mariners just aren't scoring right now. But let's talk Pirates-Tigers. I think that we're starting to get the page on Spencer Turnbull and his sinker. Pirates are now hitting 248, 737 OPS versus righties. That number's going up. Tigers are hitting 201, 594 OPS versus righties. I love Trevor Williams. And I think that we're starting to figure out how to attack Spencer Turnbull. I think we have enough tape on him, and I think his numbers will go down now. Now, he hasn't given up more than 3 earned runs in his starts this season. Let's see what the weather is like here. 10 miles per hour in. I'm surprised that this under isn't being hammered. I'm surprised that people aren't hammering this under nonstop with these two teams. Let's see what we're getting on the under. 8.5. It opened at 8. It's been pushed up to 8.5. I don't know if I want to go against that, but I do want to take the Pirates. I do want to back Trevor Williams. So first 5. Let's see what we're getting money line on the Pirates. See what you guys have to say about this spot as well. Ramon Scott saying Williams is a top unit producer so far. DJ Coleman likes the under, but why do you think it's being bet to the over? Eddie Oler says looks like Pirates 5-2. I just don't understand the market move. And maybe it's because people have figured out Turnbull. And Mally Mouse says this is an over series. That's why. Let's see what I'm getting. Pittsburgh first 5. I'm going to do it. Pittsburgh first 5. I'm getting -115 at Bookmaker. And then I'm going to take Pittsburgh full game. Here we go. Full game. And Joe Anisi says, Jimmy, I'm on Pitt. Trevor gives me a chub. I love watching him pitch. It looks like it's hittable, but the guy is a nonstop studying his opponents. And I just really like what he does. He's just consistent. And full game -105 at Bookmaker. I'm on both. You know, DJ Coleman says, I have no idea. I don't either. And because of that, Matt Randall says 12 miles per hour winds blowing in. I might double up on it, Matt Randall. I might. Because right now I'm on that first 5 under. It's just that Royals bullpen that concerns me. All right, let's keep rolling. I'm on first 5 full game with Pittsburgh. Now let's move on to Giants Nationals. Is Samardzija going to have another great start? I love the way Hellickson looks. I know he's the 5th starter, but man, the guy just pitches well. Giants are hitting just 179, 555 OPS versus righties. Samardzija coming off a beautiful start, but Hellickson just is good. He's just a good pitcher. Everybody leaning towards the under. I agree. Drew Daddy says, when's that horse race? Oh, did he come? Did our man Dennis Garcia said, okay, instead the play of the day will be 3 Fancy Fox. Interesting. I'm going to take a look at both those horses. The 3 Fancy Fox is Dennis Garcia's play of the day. You know, I mean, I'll jump on it. But race 6 at Keeneland, I don't have time to grab the time of that race. Dennis, do you mind doing that for the low baggers here? That would be great if you could give us the time. Red Girl says Nationals full game under. I'd like to fade Samardzija after a spectacular start. I'm liking the Nationals here and Hellickson. Let's see what I'd get if I took the Nationals here. Money line, full game. -129, but money coming in on the Giants. You know, I'm going to leave that as just a lean at this point. I'm going to lean towards the Nationals. And Sean Watson saying Fancy Fox, race 4 is 12-1. It's a nice look. And CT Bay says Giants full game just like yesterday. Yeah, I'm going to wait. Now we got David Hess versus Ryan Stanek in the Orioles-Rays game. You know, I had the Rays full game -1.5. And the Rays just keep rolling. And even though Hess has looked quite good his last 2 starts, why don't we just go right back to the Rays? And I guess the answer is because it costs. They're huge favorites. And Hess is pitching well. Let's see what we get on the Rays right now. -1.5 is a -125. I mean, you can't take that first 5, even though the -0.5 hit yesterday. It just feels like it's a danger at these huge numbers. Tampa Bay, full game, a -0.5 is -170. So I just can't take that. But full game, I think I just go right back to the well. I just think this Tampa Bay team is very, very good. Poppy Longwood says, "Will Justify run on the Derby?" Justify is long retired. Justify is banging in the shed right now as we speak, I'm sure. Justify's got his giant horse cock out right now. Ramon Scott says, "Nats pitching garbage at home. Take the Giants as a dog." And 3:51 Eastern time. Thank you. So that's the race is in 4 hours. It's 12 right now. Thank you. Matt Randall, NHL recap. Yeah, I've only made one play so far in the NHL. That's the Golden Knights to win the cup at +550. I've not made a move on the card yet. Ramon Scott says, "Overpriced Rays again." Let's take a quick look at what we're getting here with the Rays total. Because I like these pitchers. Well, I mean, we're only going to get Stanek for an inning. Robert Cherry said, "The Orioles are dangerous as a road dog." I agree. Mr. Coaxer, you got me. Okay, let's see here what we get on the total. 8.5. I like that look. If Hess can give us a nice start, I like the under 8.5. The only thing is, can we trust the bullpen? What are we getting first 5? Let's take a look at what we're getting first 5. And Isaac God, second half. Jimmy takes second half. Isaac God capping much like Pete would do with these second halves, and they sound very, very strong. Yeah, Tampa Bay first 5, says Red Girl. I mean, that's just so juiced. We're going to be grabbing Drew Martin here. Tampa Bay with Stanek. Under 4.5. I like the under 4.5. +100, but money moving on to the over. You know, I'm going to spend some more time with the Rays here. So I like the Rays, and I like the unders. But I'm a little concerned that it's moving towards the overs. So I'm going to spend a little more time. Bob Taylor says, "Fancy feast to win, place, or show." You know, with these huge lines, you know, these huge dogs that Dennis is giving us, these 12-1s, I quite enjoy across the board win, place, show. I quite enjoy making that bet, and I'm likely to make it here. So I think that, you know, because then if you were right with a big dog and he comes third, you're still going to profit a little bit, and that's what it's about for me. So I'll probably just make a small little $10 across the board, cost me $30. That's probably how I would handle it. All right, so I'm leaning towards the Rays now. I want to jump on the Cubs first 5 full game. I want to jump on the Twins first 5 full game, and I want to jump on the Rangers first 5 full game, and I want to do that before the show ends. But right now, let's bring Drew Martin onto the show before I make those plays. DJ Coleman says, "Don't touch that first 5. Yeah, I feel you, DJ Coleman. I'm not going to take it at those. Oh, you mean the total on the first 5. Interesting. Yeah, I agree. Mr. Gold says, "Cubs second half was cash all series long versus Miami." Let's bring our man Drew Martin onto the show. Drew Martin, Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing this morning?
Happy Wednesday, Jimmy. I'm doing good, man. I heard you. I think you were talking some horses right before I came on, so I'm also getting excited for that. We got the big race coming up, so interested in your picks on that, but also excited to get after it in MLB.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, we got my man Dennis Garcia, spectacular thoroughbred handicapper, we're getting plays of the days from Dennis. We're getting plays of the days from Gas Station Sushi, Big Ragu, a bunch of our favorite, Jose Villegas, a bunch of guys. So it's a lot of fun adding to the show. Absolutely adding. And I will bet them. I'm going to bet Dennis's play. I'm going to go live with it when it comes on. So shout out to Dennis Garcia, who's at Garcia Gaming on Twitter. And he's a great follow, always putting his plays out. Drew, my man, what are you looking at here?
I got another 3-spot for tonight, Jimmy. I guess I could start towards the top of the card here in the big matchup on ESPN, Boston, New York. We got Eovaldi versus Happ. And looking at a couple things here, what a total of now 9 I believe you can still find a 9 out there. Yeah, there are some 9s, 9.5, but if you shop around, 9 minus 115 is there. And I'm liking this towards the over. As the weather starts to heat up, it's not hot tonight, but as we go north of 50 degrees, now we're getting into the 60s. And winds, under 10 miles an hour, and it looks like kind of a crosswind. So I wouldn't think that the wind affects the game too much. Both of these two pitchers north of 8 ERA on the season, not bet on pitchers for me by any means. And Boston faced James Paxton last night. And if you watched that game last night, Jimmy, James Paxton was feeling it, man. He was getting the ball right back at the hitters, just dominating their lineup. So I really don't see Eovaldi doing that this time around. I don't see Hap controlling him like that. And coming off of that bad performance, I would look for them to bounce back a little bit. Hap hasn't pitched into the 6th inning in any of his starts this season, any of his first 3 starts. And again, both these pitchers with north of an 8 ERA. Also, the kicker here, home plate umpire, Adrian Johnson, 18-10 to the over last year in his over-under record. So all of these points, I'm thinking pointing towards the over tonight in Yankee Stadium, and you can still find it at a flat 9 right now.
It was something that we were looking at as well, that total, and we were talking about it. Yeah, I find that appealing. I do. I find the over appealing here. And there's not a ton of books. A lot of books have already moved to 9.5. Only 5 dimes hanging that 9 here on my front list of books. I think that's a good look. I think that's a really good look. I'm close to tailing that. What else are you looking at?
Yeah, it is an important half point there, right at the 9. We got a 9 at Intertops, U-Wager, Just Bet. They're all at 9. Also, looks like 5 dimes. So make sure to shop around, have more than one book, because that could be an important half a point on a total. An MLB total is a half point is always important, just to reiterate that. Got 2 more games here moving down the card. San Francisco, Washington on SBR odds. We got Samardzija versus Hellickson. This is 907, 908 on the rotation. 70 degrees, it looks like, is the high tonight in Washington. Samardzija 1-0, Hellickson 1-0, 1.62 ERA for Samardzija, 2.25 for Hellickson. Both pitchers off to a good start, granted short sample sizes. And really, Hellickson only allowed 3 hits in his last 6 innings and against the Phillies. And that Phillies lineup, in my opinion, is pretty underrated. Very good lineup in MLB. So I'm thinking he's going to be able to, at least perform well tonight against this Giants lineup. And I know they're hovering around, -1 unit on the year, maybe even. But this Giants team, I find it very difficult for them to be a positive bet on team by the end of the season. I'm looking to fade him more so than I'm looking to bet on him. Washington 5-1, their last 6 games off of a loss. That is a stat. Once you get, north of 5 games and off of a loss, it is something that I try to look at, not handicap blindly off of. But I think Hellickson is a little bit underrated in the market, under -130 now. We can find him, low water market, -126 right now. I think Washington, the Nationals at home, are a buy low opportunity.
So do I, but the market move concerned me. BetOnline opened it at -140, so there's been a 12-cent move towards the Giants. I like to fade Samardzija after he has a brilliant start. But a lot of guys in the chat liking the Giants. Kobe was saying yesterday that he likes the Giants lineup offensively better than the Nationals. And then they went out and proved it. And Kobe Cash with the dog. I like where you're at, but the market move concerns me.
Yeah, and market moves, I don't know how much you factor him in, Jimmy, but early in the season, I do look at him. It's just, I would look for Samardzija. It was a nice performance, but it kind of could be an outlier performance. Remember, last year, he only pitched into July, man, and he's getting up there in age. He's the type of profile that at some point, you got to look to fade. And it's a short sample size with his numbers looking good this year. And I guess that's a good point as far as San Francisco's lineup not being that bad offensively, but I don't know. I don't know if I would, if you're giving me the option to take the Nationals lineup going forward for the rest of the year or the Giants lineup, I'm going to take the Nationals. I don't know, man.
So same here. Kobe or Mally Mal saying Kobe's on the Nats today. I'm leaning towards the Nats, just not sure if I'm going to pull the trigger at this point. Steve Cordero saying Tampa Bay run line 13-4 this year. Wow. I've been on a lot of them, but not enough of them. What else are you thinking on this card, Drew?
All right, Jimmy. I got a full unit on this game. This is the game I really like. Half units on the first two. Angels, Texas Rangers. Fade Matt Harvey, man. That's what I'm looking to do. 10.5 being the total. Rangers -125 at home. Matt Harvey, 17 hits in his last 8 innings pitched. I don't think he's looked good at all. I've seen both of these performances. He was all over the place. Didn't look confident on the mound at all. 14 runs. And that's in 8 innings, 14 runs given up. Hard hit percentage of 65%. The opposition's lineup against him, so it's not like this is a fluke or anything. He's not finding it, and he's very hittable right now. That was just a few days ago in his last start against Milwaukee, and then the start before that against this Rangers lineup. So they just saw him, about 10 days ago, 12 days ago. They're coming back at him, this time at home. We know the Texas lineup at home. Lance Lynn, 6 innings in each of his last 2 starts. And Lance Lynn's not like a sexy name or anything, but he gets the job done. 3 earned runs his last 13 innings pitched, 14 Ks, only 3 walks. Lance Lynn is way more of a bet on pitcher than Matt Harvey for me, and I'm going to do it tonight. It's just the Rangers bullpen has the worst K to walk percentage in all of baseball, so it's trying to stay away from them. Also, almost a 1.5 whip from out of the bullpen. That's very scary. So looking at them first 5 tonight, I like it a lot. Texas Rangers minus the short price here in the first 5 innings.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's not that short, though. Like, I'm thinking of taking it -0.5. I mean, it's -132 is the best I get. What was the best line you could get?
Yeah, well, -132 at Bookmaker right now. So, I mean, one of the biggest books, I guess, to American-facing clients, -132.
Yeah, I mean, and let's see what we'd get on the -0.5. And I know that you don't like it, but we're getting a plus number on the -0.5. So you don't feel like that's necessary? It's not a big enough swing. And we've talked about this on earlier shows that 30 cents is just not worth it.
Yeah, I've actually never done that as far as lay the run line in the first 5 innings. Just, if it is 1-1 at the end of the 5th, you would have pushed your bet. Now you're going to lose it to save how many cents is that? I don't find that, a plus EV bet long term. So I've never really bet it. So I can't, talk about it too much, man.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm gonna split that up, I think, at this point and take the -1 line. Man. Okay, while I'm figuring out what to do with that Rangers spot, I would like to just touch on, I'm thinking of doubling up on the Twins. I like Odorizzi at home in this spot against a Jays team that he's been good against, especially from his days in Tampa. He's got a 3.21 ERA against them. Blue Jays going for a 3-game winning streak. I do not think they're going to get it, but that game looks like it's going to be rained out at this point, heavy rain, so we shouldn't put too much talk into it. And then the other spot that I was just about to go a first 5 and full gamer is with the Cubs and Cole Hamels. Sandy Alcantara is easy. I mean, I just feel like the Cubs against him are going to touch him, man. Especially, you never know exactly what you're going to get with Alcantara, and you've spoken about him with the money. I'm thinking of doubling up here on the Cubs' first 5 full game. What do you think of that spot?
All right, the Toronto game. Toronto, I know that they're kind of down and out in the betting markets, but I've looked at this team, young team, fighting hard. I'm not really looking to fade Toronto. So but you bring up good points. I mean, Odorizzi is a good pitcher, but it does show in the price. And as far as Alcantara, I like this kid. I think he throws hard. He dominates on the mound. When he's feeling it, he can mow down a lineup. It's one of those things, in my opinion, in baseball, when the pitcher's got it going on and he's a dominating pitcher, it doesn't really matter the offensive lineup he's facing. I think he has that ability. Not saying he's going to do it tonight. He could get blown up, like you're saying. He's kind of a youngish pitcher, so that can, it's kind of a volatile handicap in my opinion. But at a big plus price, man. I don't know, man. This is coming from a Marlins fan at heart, so I try not to put my money on just a fanboy style. But I don't know. Maybe first five. Make sure that you're getting every inning with him on the hill at a plus price is maybe something I would look at. But you're right. I mean, the Chicago Cubs are the better team, better lineup by far, with a veteran pitcher on the hill. If you can find ways to do it, I personally wouldn't lay a big price here against a opposing pitcher that can be dominant if he's got his stuff on. And what we're seeing it higher than minus 150, minus 160 right now. So I don't know. I haven't bet this one, Jimmy, but possibly if you're looking to take a shot, maybe the home team at a big plus price with a pitcher that has the ability to go through the first 5 innings and be pretty good.
He looked so good in his debut, but since then he's not looked good at all. In the last 9 innings, Alcantara's allowed 8 runs. He's walked 7 batters. He's allowed 15 hits. He has a 14-7 ground ball to fly out ratio. Oh, sorry. In his first start, he had a 14-7, which is a nice ratio. And then in the last 2 games, he has 16-19 ground ball to fly out ratio. I'm going to fade Alcantara. I think the Cubs are streaking right now, and they're going to continue streaking. I know they're only 7-9 on the season, but they're going to start turning around. Jin Rummy likes the over 8 in the Marlins Cubbies game. And that was a great find because it's already moving to 8.5. I like those looks. Isaac God saying, Jimmy, take Hamill strikeouts on there. Okay, I've got some stuff I've got to figure out here. And I know we got to close up the show, and we will right now. But I agree with Isaac God with the Rangers spots. The first 5, team total over, and first 5, full game. And I'm going to jump on those. And I like Lance Lynn moving forward, and I like this Rangers team. And then I'm going to triple up here on this Cubs game. So while I do that, Drew, is there a game that you could touch on? I don't know if the Astros making it 11 straight, or Diamondbacks, Braves, Godley versus Gaussman, or is there? I've got to do a little bit of line shopping right now and put those 2 bets together. Do you mind touching on a game while I'm doing that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Thank
you. And just to finish up on what we were talking about tonight's pitching in the Marlins game. Keep in mind the last two teams he's faced. The Braves, Phillies, 2 above average lineups in the NL for sure. And he did get touched up. I mean, against the Braves, he only went 4 innings and gave up 2 earned, and then gave up six earned in his last start against the Phillies. Not that the Cubs lineup isn't good, but I always like to see who the pitcher, the opposing lineups are. So I think that matters a lot. As far as what Gausman on the hill for Atlanta, Kevin Gausman, he seems so volatile to me still. He can throw hard, has for many years, but it's like straight. He doesn't have much movement on his ball. I haven't bet on him at all this year versus Godley, and the market doesn't like Godley at all. He just doesn't have the metrics behind him. Also, Arizona in Atlanta, if I remember right, I believe it was like 4-25. Or at 4-21, their last 25 when they started this series. So for whatever reason, the Diamondbacks playing in Atlanta, they just don't do very well. That's usually a stat you use in like college football or college basketball with college teams traveling, bad travel spots. But in MLB, you don't think of it. But when it's that long for a West Division team versus an East Division team, I think it's something to take notice of. So it would make me definitely lean towards the Atlanta side. But again, we're seeing minus 160 price tag. It's been pushed up since since the minus 153 favorite at home to as high as minus 166. Geez. So maybe the market's onto that, as we were just talking about. Freddie Montez on the hill for Oakland versus Houston. This is a great matchup, man, in the late night 10 p.m. Eastern slate. This game is on MLB Network. Nice. That would be good for the degenerate special kind of. Minus 110, competitively priced, total of 9. I like Montez to go against this Houston lineup. I don't know what you guys think, but I think he's good, man. And I'll take a good starting pitcher over obviously one of the best lineups in baseball in Houston. But Wade Miley on the hill, with the old Louisianian. He can throw hard from the left side, but I like this Oakland team at home. I always have. I mean, I'd look to bet the Oakland A's at home. I haven't touched this game yet. I'm getting excited about it. And late night game, definitely got to look towards the A's in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think in the chat box. And Jimmy, how you doing on the line shopping, man?
I'm good. Thank you so much. And Ramon Scott saying Arizona, Atlanta see double-digit runs. Godley versus Gaussman. I backed Gaussman last start and was not successful there. I'm going to look into that over. But yeah, thank you for taking care of that. So I'm not doubling up on the Cubs at this point. I'm just taking them full game -1.5 at +105. That's all I'm doing there. And then for the Rangers, I'm tripling up. First 5 over 2.5 at -133. First 5 money line at -133 and full game at -128. The -133 is Pinnacle, I believe. The full game is Market at -128 at 3 different books. So that's what's up. So let's quickly go over all the plays and then shut this show down. We got a lot of work to do in the afternoon. We're going to have, we got daytime baseball. We're going to hammer Dennis Garcia's play at Keeneland. Fancy Feast. We're going to take that. So we're going to have a lot of fun in the afternoon and work on this card and then come back and hammer it with DJ Big Boss as well as J Money is Money. So in NHL, I have an interest in the Predator Stars overtime and the over in the Flames Avalanche, but I'm going to wait and study it throughout the afternoon. And then in basketball, again, I'm going to wait and study this with J Money, but the over in Jazz Rockets is appealing at this point, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make that move. And Isaac God saying, Jimmy, take Hamill's strikeouts under. I'm going to write that down too and look into what that line is. I can't line shop right now, but I'm off Mets Phillies. I'm on Cardinals in 3 ways. First 5 team total over 2.5 at +117. Full game over 4.5 at +102. First 5 at +120. And then I'm on the first 5 under 5 at -125 in Royals White Sox. But the full game under is the taint play of the day by Matt Randall. Then I'm on the over 8 Reds Dodgers. That's a play championed by our Jin Rummy. But of course, Jin Rummy got a better line than me. That's his main focus is beating these line moves, and he does that spectacularly well. He got +102, I got -114. And then on the late games, I'm on the over 9. I jumped on with Drew. Red Sox Yankees over 9, -115 at 5 times. I'm off Indians Mariners. I'm on the Pirates first 5 at -115, full game at -105. I have not made a move on the Nationals yet. I've not figured out exactly how I'm going to handle the Rays game, but I'm going to handle it. I didn't make a move on the Cubs first 5, but I did take them full game -1.5 at +105. I'm going to look into this over in Arizona, Atlanta. And then Twins, I think it's going to be rained out, so I didn't want to spend too much time on it. Then I'm tripling up on the Rangers game. First 5 over, 2.5 -133. Full game -133. First 5 -133 and full game -128. And then that's it. And then I'm going to hammer Fancy Fox in the play of the day. That's race 6, I believe, at Keeneland. Race 6, but I'll double check that. Much love, you guys. Thank you, Dom, for saying 5:30 Eastern time, guys. Don't forget, thank you guys for joining us. Let's have a big, big late show. Hit the like button if you have some time. But most importantly, thank you to our guest, Drew Martin. Drew, where can we find you on Twitter and what shows you have coming up this week?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on, Jimmy. On Twitter at Drew Martin Bets. Got the weekend show with Ski Profit. We do Saturday and Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Also, Ian Cameron joins us on Saturday. We're breaking down the NBA playoffs. Come join us. Also, feel free to talk MLB. And guys, I got Texas -125 at home. Also, half unit wagers on Washington -126 and Boston, New York Yankees over 9. So thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, best of luck with your bets.
Thank you for joining us, Drew. What a treat. Jose Villegas says, Jimmy, you give Carolina a chance to win the series? No, but they're going to put up a great fight. So, yeah, sure, there's a chance, but no, the Capitals will win this series, but the Carolina Hurricanes are a team to look out for. We should probably make futures bets on them for next season. But no, the Capitals should be the favorite to win the Cup, and they're not right now. I guess because the Islanders are already taking care of business at +550, but Capitals are very, very dangerous. Shout out to our man, Drew Martin. Most importantly, though, Leche, a los bookmakers!